So yes, so again, the text number is the fastest way to reach me. Remember that if you email me, I really only get it when when I'm home or at school. If I'm out, I won't get the email, I will get the text message. When I got home last night, about 9:30, there was like 4 emails that showed up. I didn't even get a chance to answer them yet. I will answer them after this class. But if you would have texted me, or if those people would have texted me, whoever they were, I would have been able to answer it quicker, okay? So the fastest way to get me is a text message. Now, if you're sending me a message that you don't need answered right away, right? If it's something, I don't know, something that you're like, you know what, this could wait till tomorrow, I just want to make sure I ask her, then you can send it to an email and I will answer you back, just not as fast as a text message. 3 different ways to get homework help when you leave school. So some people put email, text message, YouTube lessons. Very good ways to get homework help. YouTube. Make sure you utilize YouTube, okay? I will every so often post a video from YouTube. That does not mean that video is the one video you should watch. It's just one that I found or one that someone has shared to me in the past. However, I don't care what YouTube video you use, right? If you watch one YouTube video and you're like, I still don't understand, watch another one, okay? Stay away from the really long ones because those usually are boring and give you a whole bunch of information you don't need to know. So right now we did evaluating functions. So if you go on YouTube and you put evaluating functions, okay, and a video pops up and you have the decision to watch the 30-minute video or the 5-minute video, watch the 5-minute video. You don't understand? Watch another 5-minute video. And I say that because the 20-minute video is probably going to give you a lot of background information, and then you're going to be like, Miss, I don't understand, that was too much. Okay? So watch the shorter videos, even if you watch a lot of them. They're usually more concise and straight to the point. Emailing is good. Texting is good. The thing that makes it hard is, right, math is usually a show kind of thing, right? It's really hard sometimes for me to explain to you how to solve a problem if you don't know how to solve it. If I say something like square the number 5 and you don't even know what squaring means, right? Then we're going back and forth on text message when if you watch the video, they'll probably show you how to square it. Does that make sense? Okay? And again, I'm not saying don't text me. Please do. Ask a friend. That is always a good answer. Peer help is always good, mostly because peers actually kind of understand your questions, right? Because they might have got confused with it and then figured it out. So try asking a friend. Another one, Google Classroom comment section. That is heavy as well, right? If you write something on Google Classroom in a private comment to me, Miss, I can't find the packet, right? But I can't get to it at the moment because I'm out and about and doing whatever I do. Someone else in the class, though, might be on Google Classroom at that moment and be able to answer it. So if you write that in a general comment instead of a private comment, someone can say to you, hey, go to the link where it says Classroom and find the functions Common Core. And then you can have the packet, instead of trying to wait for me to respond after hours, right? What else is up here? On Remind, I don't use Remind at all. I felt like I always forgot to use Remind. So it just became another useless tool. So I use Google Classroom, I use my text line, and email. Staying after is not a thing anymore. Some people put staying after. You cannot stay after anymore. Not a thing at all, okay? We can do maybe a Google Meet section, but again, that only really works when I'm still here in the building. Once I go home, I'm not usually sitting in front of a computer to do a Google Meet at home, okay, unless we're distant learning. But after hours, I'm not usually home sitting in front of a computer. Practice on Khan Academy. Khan Academy is also good for practice. I won't use Khan Academy to actually sign lessons because I think Khan Academy personally is boring. However, if you like Khan Academy, all of their lessons are still good math lessons. So you can use it for practice on your own. There was 2 people who constantly answered, I don't know to answers. Let me tell you about how I grade most of the time. Most of the time, your homework or assignments like this, you get 100, even if you're wrong and you answered all the questions. So please do not put I don't know or leave things blank ever in my class, because then you're guaranteed to get a 0. And that could be that one assignment where I was only going to give you participation points anyway. So it didn't matter if you were right or wrong. Excuse me. Okay? If you don't truly know an answer, that's when you have to ask. Whether you're asking on Google Classroom, whether you're asking your friends, whether you're texting me, just ask the question. The worst you're going to get from me is go research, and then you didn't know the answer the first time, so then you don't know the answer now, right? But to not ask doesn't help you at all. So just ask. Don't put I don't know. Don't leave things blank. It's never worth it because you can always get partial credit. Are you allowed to text your mom in class in case it's emergency? A lot of people put yes. The answer is no. You are not allowed to pick up your phone and text anyone at any time, unless you ask first, right? So I understand life happens, especially now that we are living in the world we're living in, right? So when you come into class and something's happening, say, Miss, today's gonna be one of those days. Can I step out if my phone rings? I'm absolutely gonna say, sure thing, just stand right by the door. I'm absolutely gonna say yes. Because I already told you, I'm definitely answering the phone if my son calls, right? So just step right outside the room, do whatever it is that you have to do, and come right back in. Now, don't make it an everyday thing, because then that becomes a problem. But if every once in a while something is happening, just let me know before you do it. If you're sitting in my classroom and you're texting, and I'm like, yo, and you go, well, I had to. That doesn't work. You gotta tell me before you're texting that you have to respond to somebody's text message. And again, it can't be a repetitive thing. Because if you're having an emergency every day, I need you to go see somebody so they can get you some assistance, whatever is happening. Okay? I am definitely understanding, but I do believe in respect, big time. And so just like if you're talking to me, you don't want me to like turn my back and not listen, right? So that's how I feel when you're texting when I'm teaching. Or when someone else is talking, it's the same thing. Can you eat in Miss Daniel's classroom? The answer is no, never, not at all. When can you listen to music during class? You can listen to music when you're doing individual work. So when I'm like, hey, do this worksheet, which I probably will never say do this worksheet. However, I might say take out your computers and work on blah, 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 blah. That's when you can listen to your headphones. In a minute, I'm going to give you a few minutes in class to do the student survey. For those of you who have not done it, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. That's when you can listen to music. Whenever you're doing work on your own. When can you request extra credit worksheets? Never, ever, ever. Don't give extra credit worksheets. I will give extra credit during assignments or on Google Classroom, but you can't come to me at the end of the marking period and ask for worksheets because I don't give them. Do your work in my class, you won't fail. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee in my class. Most of the time when people get to a D, I'm harassing you anyway to figure out how I can help you get to a C or above. I don't like D's. Forget F's. I don't like D's. Okay? So if you're ever at a D, then we got to figure out how to get you above. Most of my homework is participation anyway. So as long as you try every problem, you're going to get 100 on that right there. Okay? So the only thing that might bring you down if you have anxiety when it comes to quizzes, or when you have anxiety when you come to projects, I know that exists. I hate big tests, hate them. I like panic before any big test I ever took in my life. Even when I went to take my teaching degree, I like panicked outside the room before I went in. So I understand it. However, we got to get you through it because that's how you achieve. Okay? So then you just talk to me, we talk about some tips, we figure out what's best for you, and we move forward. But failing is that's just pointless. Right? You need this to go to the next step in life. No matter what next step it is, passing this class is important. Even if you never do anything that has to do with higher mathematics, passing the class is important. So if that's your goal, to just pass the class, I'm all right. If your goal is to be something in higher mathematics, then I'll push you to that limit of an A. But if you tell me that you have no desire at all to learn higher mathematics, I'm okay. You still need to get at least a C in my class. Make sense? Okay? That's the rules for my son who's 16, so I believe I hold that same standard to the kids in my classroom. And I will stalk you, find you, and harass you until you do some work. That's all. All right, how long after can you turn in late work? I do not accept late work. So, here's how the policy works. Everything is graded on Google Classroom, especially now. Most of the time, though, I don't grade it the day it's due. I usually, if an assignment is due, let's say today, I usually don't grade it for about 3 days. So you have those 3 days to turn it in. Once I grade the assignment and turn it back, you can't do it anymore. Okay? So there usually is a small grace period. However, it's very small. Now, if there is an assignment due today and something happens in life, please just reach out to me. Miss, I can't really do my homework today because blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, most likely, I'm not giving assignments that day, unless it's one of those questions that I put on Google Classroom. So if I put a question up, that might be due that same day. Most assignments, you'll get at least 2 days. How much are Google Classrooms worth? They're worth 5 points. Okay? 3 points for answering, 2 points for responding to someone else. Remember, the goal is interaction, even if we're on the computer. Here's where your extra credit comes in every single time there's one of those questions. You respond to one person, right? You get that 5 points for that question. However, you respond to 2 people, you get 6 points. Another person, 7 points. So I think there's like 20-something kids in your class. You can respond and get 19 extra credit points just for those questions each time. And mind you, when you respond, don't say something like, yes, I agree. Me too. Those won't get you extra credit points. It's supposed to be a conversation. Okay, that's all 8 questions on the rules quiz. Any questions? Okay.